welcome everyone. Today we'll be having Dr. Ketki Mohite with us. She is an orthopedic surgeon at Phoenix Orthopedic Clinic, Pune. So in today's session, she'll be guiding us on workday wellness, postures, and movement tips. So Dr. Ketki will share some tips with us that will help us to reduce joint pain, boost our energy, and prevent long-term bones and joint issues. So welcome, Dr. Ketki, and over to
Hi.
you.
Yes. So shall we start?
Yeah, please.
Yes. So let's go to the PPT. I've prepared a PPT regarding ergonomics. Okay, so workplace ergonomics. Ergonomics is basically fitting the job to the worker. That means you have to change your work environment. You have to change the furniture that you are sitting on and all the equipments that you are using to suit the person. It should be personalized. Okay, so OSHA is a department from US. It has defined ergonomics as designing the job to fit the worker instead of forcing the worker to fit the job. Ergonomics is a way of working smarter, not harder, by designing tools, equipment, workstations, and tasks that allow a job to fit the worker and not by fitting the worker to the job. So, on an average, a person who is using a keyboard is typing 50,000 to 200,000 keystrokes a day. So, that is a lot of stress on your wrist and your muscles and your palms. And so, that leads somewhere, to a lot of different types of musculoskeletal disorders that we'll see today. So, these muscles overuse results in tiny tears in the muscles and scarring, which contributes to the inflammation and muscle stiffness. So the most common work-related MSDs, which are musculoskeletal disorders, they are I enumerated them later on. First, we'll look at the generalized symptoms that may occur with it. Okay, so the symptom can be discomfort, pain, numbness. Now, these usually the symptoms may be seen in the extremities, that is in your foot, your ankle, or your wrist, your fingers, and back. Back, the entire back can be involved. So the discomfort, pain, numbness, loss of motion, flexibility, spasticity. Spasticity is when the muscle has contracted so much that it becomes very hard. So that is called spasticity. Stiff joints, burning sensation, swelling, tingling, inflammation, throbbing, or paralysis. Okay. So now the predisposing factors for MSD are so if everyone please read these pointers and ask yourself this question: do you perform frequent repetitive motion, bend at the waist, or twist when lifting objects? Lift, push, or pull objects throughout the day. Sometimes use the wrong tool for the job. Grasp tools with your fingers. Forget to take breaks while working. Feel like you are under stress, have to stretch to reach to your work. For example, for this is if you are working on a computer and you are continuously grabbing something, maybe some document or something, and this is happening a lot, then you have to ask yourself that. Feel like you are under stress, forget to take breaks while working, have to stretch to reach to your work, forget to adjust your work area to fit your task. If the answer for a majority of these questions are yes, then you are at a great risk for developing MSD. So now the common work-related MSDs are carpal tunnel syndrome. So in carpal tunnel syndrome, you must be knowing it because it's very common in office workers. So that there's a nerve going on in your hand from here. It's called the median nerve. It is the major nerve supplying in your palm and your fingers. So it passes from a very small tunnel in your wrist. So when you are working for long hours with your wrist in a not a proper position on keyboards, at that time, due to some stress and repetitive trauma to it, the nerve may get inflamed. So that is called carpal tunnel syndrome. So for this, I will probably say that prevention is the best cure, because once carpal tunnel syndrome occurs, it becomes really tricky to treat it, and the treatment are usually invasive. We can go for physiotherapy, but it's not that effective. So it's best to try to prevent this carpal tunnel. The rare one is tennis elbow. You must have heard about that as well. So for tennis elbow, uh, so there is the tendon going from your elbow to your forearm. That tendon may get inflamed. Bursitis is again in every joint there is a space called bursa, which is lined with some fluid. So that fluid can get inflamed. Now I should explain what inflamed means. So inflamed means when some blood components they gather in one area and it causes a lot of pain and other diseases. So that is basically the inflammation's explanation. Okay, then de Quervain's disease is when there is a pain occurring at the base of your thumb. This again can happen due to improper stance while using keyboard, while using the mouse, or doing some other work. Sciatica, you must be knowing. Sciatica is when a nerve root that is coming from your spinal cord gets compressed by a disc. That leads to sciatica, and the pain radiates from your hip till your legs. Okay, then herniated disc. Talk about herniated disc in detail later on. Next, strain disability. This can happen due to muscle strain, which occurs due to improper posture. Tendinitis is again tendon inflammation. Rotator cuff injuries, the injuries that occur around your shoulder. As everyone listening, I'm not able to hear anyone's feedback.
Yes, Ketki.
Yeah, we're listening.
Okay, if any questions, anything, just ask. Okay. So neuritis is again inflammation of your nerves. So whenever it's something related to nerves or tendon, bursa that we have discussed, it is very tricky. Okay, so for that, usually you have to go for very invasive procedures like steroid injections and everything. So these things are very much preventable, and that is why we are having this seminar today, so that you should know how to prevent it, so that you shouldn't go to that treatment part. Okay, so now Raynaud's disease, again, it can occur due to posture of your hands, or it can also occur due to working in cold environment. So Raynaud's disease symptoms are there is discoloration in your fingertips. They may turn white or they may turn blue, which is called cyanosis, or they may turn completely reddish when the blood flow comes back. It occurs due to variation of the temperature. Not everyone suffers through it, but those who are susceptible, they can. Trigger finger is again happening at the base of the thumb. The tendon which is passing to your thumb, it can get basically it gets attached near a bone here, and then this finger gets stuck. So that is again trigger finger. Thoracic outlet syndrome is very, very rare, but very, very serious. So that can occur due to posture, but the chances are very rare. But because it occurs, I have mentioned it. Thoracic outlet syndrome is a lot of major blood vessels are emerging from your thorax region. So this is your thorax region. So a lot of major blood vessels and muscles, everything is emerging from your heart and supplying the rest of the body, up your upper limbs and your head and neck. So whenever due to posture there are changes in your skeletal or your musculature, that can lead to again compression of these very, very important arteries like carotid artery and other arteries which are supplying your head and neck and everything. So it is a very serious syndrome. It can occur, but it is very rare and it takes a long time to occur. Epicondylitis is again an inflammation of the joint, and back strain or disability. I will talk about herniated disc and back strain in detail later on. So why it can occur if there are awkward body postures like hunching your back or leaning down on your keyboards. Now I don't think any of you does the second image, but still it's good to know that what should be avoided even while working at home. So this is an example of poor workstation ergonomic. Just look at all the aspects. So if you have your hunched back and your uh, computer is at the lower level than your eye, then you have a strained neck, hunched back. The chair is not offering any support to the back, and sitting for long hours, the person is not taking enough breaks. The leg positioning is not proper. Then the wrist position you see, and the computer is the height is not suitable. So this is another awkward position. A lot of you, I asked, then she told me that a lot of you are working from home. So I'm sure some of you are sitting like this, and it can be very, very detrimental to your back. I have seen patients who are 20, 22 years of age, who are some are students, some are working, and they have horrible back. The X-rays you'll see any doctor will say that is the X-ray of a 40-year-old or something. That much is the effect on your back. So you might not realize it, but over time, that is how it becomes. And then later on, without surgery, nothing can be done. So we have to prevent that from happening. So don't lean forward on your desk, raising shoulders while typing. So I'll explain herniated disc here. So in the upper part, you can see the healthy disc, which is marked, and then the lower part, there's degenerated disc. So what happens with continuous posture, like either hunching back or tilting your back, or not having proper support, or basically having weak musculature, that can all lead to degenerated disc, and it is a very, very common thing now. The whole triad of the things that are happening in usually office goers, it has been named now office syndrome. It is that common, and it is very upcoming, and it is very concerning, and it is completely preventable. So that is why everyone should pay attention to it. So in this degeneration, it can occur at any level of the spine. There are three levels. One, just behind the neck, is the cervical region. The chest part is the thoracic region, and the lower back is lumbar spine. So the most common affected are the cervical and the lumbar spine. And once this degeneration occurs, there is no reversing it. Nothing can reverse it back. Nothing. Even operation can't reverse it back. You will just modify some of the things there, but even operation cannot reverse back to what the healthy disc is looking like. For wrists, you should have proper angulation while typing. Your wrist should not be upwards or downwards. They should be at a neutral position. Okay. Your mouse, if you are using the laptop mouse, then that is not a good thing. If you are using the different mouse, then that also positioning should be proper, so that your elbow is rested, your forearm is rested, your wrist is rested, and then you have your hand on the mouse.
Hi, ma'am. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, myself, Disha. I have a question. Like, what were you talking about the healthy disc? Could you please repeat the thing that
Healthy
what is
disc.
healthy disc? Yes.
So the spinal cord passes through your vertebral column. So these vertebrae you are seeing, the skin colored ones, that is the bone,
Okay.
vertebral bone. Okay. In between, like, so this is the vertebra, there is a canal here. Okay. In between, there's a canal. So from in this canal, spinal cord is passing from your lower part of the brain till your hips. Okay. So spinal cord is passing like this, and at each vertebral level, it is giving out nerve roots, which are supplying the rest of your body, like your face, your both upper hands, your torso, and then your lower legs. Okay, so at each level of this of the vertebra, nerve roots are coming out. Okay, they are big major nerves that are coming out, which again then branch out and supply various parts of your body. So in between these vertebrae, which are the bones, there is a liquid gel-like structure called disc. You must have heard a lot. Slip disc ho gaya hai. There's herniated disc. You must have heard, right? So that is what it is. So what happens? It can happen over a long period of time due to posture, or due to some nutrition deficiency also it can occur, but that is very rare. It is usually due to posture. It can happen in a sudden case also. If there is, if someone has, there has been an unnecessary strain on the back, if someone has lifted something heavy, sometimes it happens after gym. Someone takes a lot of weight and then they are not able to handle it. That can happen if a big jerk happens to your spine, that which like in car accidents or something. In those cases also, this disc, it comes out from the space that is shown in the healthy disc part. Can everyone see the pointer?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the healthy disc part. So what happens is this disc comes out. So when it comes out, and it will come out from all the directions. In this diagram, you can't see because it is just, we are seeing one section. So it comes out from all the directions. So when it comes out, it is causing compression over these nerve roots. Okay, and some it also goes inside where your spinal cord is. Okay, so if the stage of the herniation is very large, it can even lead to paralysis of the lower limb or upper limb or everything. Okay, it can also lead to death if the herniation is occurring at upper level. So, but that is not your concern. I'm just telling in office context. Your cervical and your lumbar spine are very much affected. In that, the disc might come out and then cause compression over here. And now these nerves are supplying other parts of your body. So in the lumbar region, the nerves are supplying your lower limbs. So that's why sciatica happens when this nerve is compressed and there's a pain and tingling and numbness in the entire lower limb. There is also weakness of the muscle. Patients might also lose power in the muscles completely. Okay, and this can happen. Don't think that यार हमारे साथ तो नहीं होता है. We have just heard about it. People like you and me come to the clinic having these things. Okay, so prevention is the best cure for all of the diseases here. Okay. Any more
Okay,
questions?
thank you. Not from my side. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So your wrist angulation should be proper. Okay, it should always be supported, and at a neutral angle. Your wrist should not be flexing or extending. It should be neutral. Yeah, I told you about the mouse. A lot of the people use phones like this. Okay, but now it has decreased a bit because everyone has AirPods and stuff. But still, some people do use it. This causes, if you are holding the phone for a long time on this side, then the muscles on this side of your neck, they get contracted. And over time, when you do it every day for years, they contract so much that your neck completely becomes like this. It is seen a lot in children who are growing and they keep on doing this. Their neck muscles literally shrink. So, and it again leads to a lot of other things like neck strain, which leads to headache and upper back pain. So, do not use phone like this. If you want to, you can wear headsets that come. If you have a job that requires a lot of talking on phone, you should wear headsets so that you don't have to use your hands at all. So, like I said, all of these, or literally all the diseases, musculoskeletal disorders that I've told, which are common, they are all preventable. Okay, so they are preventable and reversible, mind you, reversible if identified early. But yeah, like I said, if the disc has completely come out, it's not reversible in that case. Okay, the treatment depends on the stage of the MSD. If the condition cannot be reversed, treatment can turn into a pain management situation. The individual plays a large role in preventing MSDs. Okay, now how will you prevent it? By applying ergonomic principles to the office setting, that is, minimizing the risk factors, productivity is increased, and workplace quality is improved. So you should review your work area. If you're working from home, then you have to do it yourself. If you're working at the office, then there also you should do the necessary changes that give you proper complete all the tools that you need to work properly. So number one rule is work comfortably. So this is just an example of how a good chair should be. It should provide a proper lumbar support. So what is proper lumbar support? There's the small of your back where there's a curvature. You should have good support on that part of your body. Okay. The arms, where the arms should be adjustable to your height. Okay. Arms should be adjustable. Front edge of seat should be curving down so that your thighs don't get a lot of strain. The seat pan should be horizontally adjustable. Rollers are preferred. It's not a necessity, but rollers are preferred. Height should be adjustable because everyone comes in different shapes and sizes, so height should be adjustable. This is an example of how the spine should be, but this is not an example of how a good chair should be. So don't look at the chair, just look at how a good spine structure should be. So this is a detailed version of how to set up your workspace. The monitor should be at your eye level. If it is below, again your neck gets strained. If it is above, again the same thing happens. It should be at a proper distance. If it is too far or too near, again your eyes will get tired. Okay, your head should be upright and over shoulders, not bending towards the screen. I know this looks very rigid and looks not doable, but it is important for you to do it because you are doing it every single day, day in and day out. And it is very important, and everyone must follow this. Okay, neck should be relaxed and straight, shoulders should be relaxed and not hunched. Okay, back upright, slightly inclined, sit fully back on the chair. Elbow should be at a 90-degree angle. Okay, your lower back should be supported. The small of the back is supported if everyone can see. Thighs should be parallel to the floor. Your feet should be flat and preferably, on some cushion or something like that. Desk height should be appropriate to your height. Keyboard and mouse close to your body and flat on the desk. Wrist, again, you see how the position is neutral. It's not flexed or extended. Then yes, screen angle tilting also, whatever is comfortable to you, you should do that. And stand, yeah. So this is again the neutral wrist position which I explained, that you should keep it natural neutral position and avoid contact contact stress while typing. Like, don't punch it. Be very gentle. Okay. So a lot of you are working from home, and I'm very sure that you do this. You don't need to do this. This seems comfortable, but in the long run, it is really horrible. Patients come to me with spine which are bent like this, literally like this. Avoid repetition. That means that if you are doing some task, then don't keep on doing it continuously like that. Take some frequent small breaks. We'll talk about that again. Performing the same or similar motions repeatedly for extended periods without time for rest and recovery can lead to discomfort or trauma. Okay. So avoid long duration of the same task. The length of time spent on a task without breaks, shift in position, or stretches is more important than the other risk factors. So your time should be less. I'm not saying that don't work enough, but take frequent small breaks. Okay, stretches and breaks are very important. Static positions are your enemy. Sitting is the new smoking. I'm sure everyone has heard. Whenever you think of it, change position. Small, frequent stretches go a long way in preventing MSTs. So there are several apps which remind you to, go and have a stretch or something like that. If you don't remember in the zone of the work that I have to, do some 2 minute stretch, 3 minute stretch, you have to do it on your chair itself. So there are some apps that you can put your reminder in your phone. Just keep on taking small break. Even 2 minute break is more than enough. Okay, now eye breaks are also important. So eye is not my forte, but I'll just breeze over it. So blink to moisten your eyes every 5 to 10 minutes. Follow the 20-20-20 rule. So after every 20 minutes, look away at an object which is 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. If you are suffering from headaches, the office headaches, so this might be a reason because you are looking at a screen for a long time, or if your neck is trimmed again, that is leading to your headache. For that, it is very important that you check this, and also you need to get your eyes checked. If your number is not proper, or if you are not wearing glasses when you need glasses, then that can also lead to headaches. Micro breaks between bursts of activity, rest the hands, necks, and shoulder in a relaxed, straight posture. Rest breaks every 30 to 60 minutes. Take a brief 5-minute break and engage in other activity. Exercise break every 1 to 2 hours. Do some gentle stretching exercise. I have put some images in the presentation, but you can get detailed videos like for 5 minutes and 6-7 minutes stretches and exercises that you can do at your desk itself. So you should definitely check it out. Everything is available and follow it. So on the desk while sitting, you can do neck stretch, shoulder pinch, uh, then shoulder shrug you can do, chair rotation stretch you can do, arms behind the back stretch, foot rotations, wrist flexed and extended, fingers squeezed. For lumbar spine, which is the lower back, you can do glute bridging exercises, not on your desk, but yeah, you can incorporate this in your daily life. Cat cow pose.
Doctor, sorry to
Yes.
cut you. So we have some time limit. So just wanted to check if we have complete, almost there to end of the PPT, or is there anything
Just a
else?
little bit remaining. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so I've talked about the screen, so I can skip over it.
Yes.
You can add blue glares, blue light filters, and everything. So you can get ergonomic products like the chair, mouse, and everything. I've talked about this as well. You can also shift to standing stations, workstations. You can switch between standing and sitting. That is also very effective. So I've told you about this, that how what key points to remember, that ergonomics are very important. The MSDs which are common, they are completely preventable, and you should always, if you have any signs of symptoms, the or symptoms, you should consult a doctor immediately and get it checked. So even if there are some issues, you can you can nip it in the bud. Okay, that's it. Nothing more here. Yes, any questions for me?
Anyone? So I think no one has any question. So because you explained it very well, and we have understood, and we'll definitely practice this in our day-to-day life.
Yes,
Big thank you to you for your time and this valuable tips.
yes,
So thank you so much everyone for joining, and thank you so much, ma'am.
yes. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.